in Freemasonry a rite that he called Cagliostro's Egyptian rite, which involved a virginal boy or girl as an oracle or even priest for channeling information. These virgins were known in Masonic circles as the Columns. Remember, like 1999, the massacre at Columbine High School? Involving what? Children, virgins. There's a reason that this is a rite, a sacrificial rite. When soldiers are going to go and die, it's no good just to have them dress up and kill each other. They've got to be wearing stars, 5-pointed stars, oak leaves, Malta crosses. As a sign to the macrobes, these are your marked ones. Then they'll send them to a field or a certain place. You know those fields in France where people died? In Crimea? Check out where they are on the meridians. Find out, go into Richard Hoagland's website. Find out all this stuff about the exact positioning of certain things. Duke of Brunswick, who was the head of the Freemasonic order in the 17th century, stood up to the whole world Freemasonry and said these words: "I have been convinced that we as an order have come under the power of some very evil occult order, profoundly versed in science, both occult and otherwise, though not infallible, their methods being black magic, that is to say," now look at this, "electromagnetic power, hypnotism and powerful suggestion. We are convinced that this order is being controlled by some sun order, after the nature of the Illuminati, if not by that order itself." There's Freemasons who don't even know about this. Quote, when he asked for the disbanding of the entire order of Freemasonry in the 17th century because he knew that the evil archy had got inside. George Washington called pretty much for the same thing over here. Or warned. Jefferson warned. Another black magician, Bertrand Russell. You should check into who the Russell family were. "Hitherto in this regard, wars," he says, "have been disappointing. We need to bring into being another black plague." H.G. Wells, "Investigations into the beginning of religion have accumulated steadily throughout the past half-century, but it is only by great efforts of censorship, by sectarian education of an elaborately protected sort, that ignorance about them is maintained." Okay, so when people say, oh, this couldn't all be happening, by any kind of conspiracy, he's saying it is. And it takes a lot of elaboration to actually disguise the knowledge. And another one of your Americans, a brilliant man, Anthony Sutton, of Stanford University. Right. He said in his book, Trilaterals Over America, "Their interests are global. And much as they may protest, we see no difference between trilateral globalism and, for example, the British and French imperialism of the 19th century, or for that matter, the Holy Roman Empire." Well, he's absolutely right, because they're not different. That's why they use the laurel leaves from ancient Rome. That's why they say the eagle has landed on the moon, because the eagle is the symbol of Vatican. Vatican is not the same thing as Catholicism. There's two different things. It's a fact that the Vatican own all your state buildings. The White House rent goes to the Vatican. All the solar telescopes in the world, and including the observatories of outer space, belong to Vatican. Before any astronomer can pass information to the world, it goes by Vatican intelligence first. Especially solar observations. What would that be all about? In order to get out of the Stargate, they've been trying everything conceivable. Everything you can think of. But then, they've been using this and that. And, it's like a burglar. You have this etheric barrier. What does a burglar do when he comes to a wire fence? He puts in a dummy wire, doesn't he? He clips on a dummy wire, and then he cuts the middle wire and leaves a gate to get through, the Stargate, right? That's what they want to do, but you can't do that with a pair of pliers up there. You have to do it with energy. So they've been trying to do it with laser energy, which they mount on the satellites. The first satellites went up so they could do that. So they could beam energies, of a laser power onto the Stargate to try and open a gate. But they don't know the calibration. That's what Stargate's all about, where they can't find the 13th blah, 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 right? They're telling you, they're giving you updates. They can't get through. So they then created, recently, through the work of Nikola Tesla, a very, very powerful form of microwave technology. They've been trying it stronger and stronger all the time. It's called HARP. It was invented here by Tesla. They worked on it in Alaska. But the ultimate goal of HARP was to mount it on the satellites to try and beam its way through. They've been doing it for a lot longer, this microwave technology. And the problem was that they were doing it for so long that they superheated the atmosphere and created what we know as the ozone layer. The ozone layer is not created by your CFCs. Unfortunately, it's not. It's created by this endless amount of beaming that they do of these microwaves up there that has depleted the ozone layer. That's why they don't care. They knew it was happening, but they're thinking they're getting out. So when you think you're getting out, you go mad, don't you? And then when they seen it happening, they had to give an excuse. So they went into the environmental world where there is a problem with CFCs, and they said, let's do that. Let's tell them it's the McDonald's cartons. Anything, they'll believe it. And they did. The combined military expenditures of all the world's governments in 1987 alone were so large that all the social programs of the United Nations could be financed for 300 years. Does everybody get this? So we're talking about poverty here and it can never change and what are we going to do? Well, what we're going to do is stop these people from doing what they're doing first. The combined military expenditures in 1 year alone could find all the social programs that the United Nations has, all of them, for 300 years. So I just want to say thank you for this presentation. Our planet has been visited in the past time. When I describe these aliens coming into our planet, right, into this planet, what does that sound like? When something from an alien source invades, right, an organism, what would that sound like to you? A viral infection. So people ask me, what are we going to do about it? Wave placards, shoot bows and arrows at them? Not going to work. They have invaded us, and it is exactly like that. It is exactly the same paradigm. What does the holistic doctor tell you to do when you're invaded by a virus? What is the terms that they use? To strengthen the immune system. The earth is intelligent. The earth knows what to do. The earth is living. The earth doesn't want this pestilence on itself. We're running around trying to fight them, in the normal way. It's not going to work. The earth is intelligent and living, and it knows what to get off of itself when it gets off it, and do it in the right way. But we have to strengthen its immune system, and we've lost the methodology of doing it. Each and every human being is a white blood corpuscle, a lymphocyte on the face of the earth. But if you're not doing your own rituals, if we've lost our traditional roots, and don't know about ritual, although some people gladly are getting back into that and deeply researching this, those rituals are not just, because I want to go to God and I'm, bored with my life. Every ritual that you do, no matter what it is, you must have in your mind that that ritual also involves the earth plane on which you live. Every ritual you do has no meaning unless you think that way. The dragon dances and the ghost dances of the Native American Indians, what do you think that was all about? They're just going to give you some line. You know what that was all about? All the shamans of the world. When they do their rituals, they're doing that. Their work, harmonically through dances, is to strengthen the immune system of the earth. They become that. They become emissaries of the earth, which is why they wear animal headdresses. But they've been all murdered. That's why the indigenous people have been slaughtered wherever they've gone, because the Dark Brotherhood, when the immune system of the earth starts to strengthen, they feel it bad, like a virus would, like a parasite. So that was why in the 17th century, exactly the same period I'm talking about, there was an all-out agenda that when you come across the indigenous people, you annihilate them. First of all, they're probably descendants of the sons of the serpent, who you hate anyway. And secondly, they're doing this kind of magical work. So get rid of them. So the Druids were destroyed, the Indians were destroyed, the Aboriginals were destroyed. Today it's happening as well. They can't have them around because they know. So few of them are left. So many of these rituals have been lost. You see, that we don't know what to do anymore. So each of us must research this to find out that even in your thoughts, your connection to the earth itself, and your own private rituals must be tied in some way, in a ritual way, to discover that. And I'll leave you with this, because they have been telling us. In the movie Highlander, from the dawn of time we came, moving silently down through the centuries, living many secret lives. No one has ever known that we were among you. Until now. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for your time, your patience, and your tolerance. Good night.